Good morning students. Today we are going to study about the cervical vertebrae. So the cervical vertebrae as we have studied in the introduction of vertebral column, the cervical vertebrae, they are smallest vertebrae. They are the smallest vertebra which can be seen at the neck. Cervical vertebrae are the smallest vertebrae which can be seen at the neck. They are 7 in number. They forms the vertebral basis of the skeleton of the neck. They forms the skeleton of the neck. That's why it is named as the cervical vertebrae. The classification, we can classify out of 7 vertebrae. We can name it C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 and C7. The classification of the vertebra, there are typical cervical vertebrae and atypical cervical vertebrae. Typical cervical vertebra means the vertebrae which possess features, all the features of a typical cervical vertebra. And atypical vertebrae means they have got special features, so that it is named as the atypical vertebrae. The most striking or the important feature of a cervical vertebra is the presence of a foramen transversarium. At the foramen transversarium is an opening can be seen at the transverse process. So that is the most striking, easily identifiable point or presence of foramen transversarium. So features of a vertebra, features of a typical cervical vertebra are body, vertebral foramen, superior and inferior facet, transverse processes, spinous processes, lamina and pedicles. These are the common features of a vertebra, out of which cervical vertebra shows only some of these features, and also in case of atypical vertebrae, they lack some of these features and they shows additional features. That's why they are named as atypical vertebrae. This is the C1 vertebra. The C1 vertebra is named as the atlas vertebra. Atlas vertebra, this is the inferior view of the atlas vertebra. You can see this is the inferior view of the atlas vertebra. The atlas vertebra is a type of atypical vertebra. Atlas vertebra is a type of atypical vertebra, so that it is the first cervical vertebra. It shows a number of features. It shows a number of features that is different from a typical vertebra. So it can be seen as an arched structure. It was somewhat like a ring with 2 arches. So the first cervical vertebra, it is named as the atlas because it supports the globe of the head. It supports the complete globe or complete head, so that it is named as the atlas. It is articulating above with the occipital bone and articulating below with the C2 vertebra. It have got a shape of a ring. It is somewhat like a ring shaped structure which does not possess any body. That means there is the absence of body and spine. There is the features can be named as, it consists of right and left lateral masses. It possesses a lateral masses, right and left lateral masses, which are connected by means of an anterior arch and a posterior arch. Right and left lateral masses which are connected by means of an anterior and posterior arches, and also there is 2 transverse processes, right and left transverse processes, which bears a foramen transversarium. Right and left transverse process which bears a large foramen, a foramen transversarium. So this is the foramen transversarium in this diagram. So the most striking feature of identifiable feature is foramen transversarium, which can be only seen in cervical vertebrae. So each lateral mass presenting following features. The lateral mass shows following features. like the upper and lower surfaces. The, this is inferior surface, like the superior surface also bears the superior and inferior articulating facets. So an oval shaped facets can be seen on the lateral masses. The lateral masses shows superior and inferior articulating facet. Here we can see the inferior articulating facet. This is the inferior articulating facet. Inferior articulating facet, articulating, it is somewhat like oval or circular. It is directed downward and medially and backward. It is directed downward and made towards medially and backward. It is articulating with the corresponding facets of the axis vertebra, because below this vertebra, below the atlas vertebra, there is a presence of superior aspect of the axis vertebra, so that it is articulating the inferior articular facet of the atlas vertebra, articulating with the superior articulating face of the second vertebra to form the atlantoaxial joint. Atlantoaxial joint. So these are the features which can be seen at the inferior surface. We can see the inferior articulating facets and the two lateral masses which possess the inferior articulating facet inferiorly, like the superior articulating facet superiorly. The superior articulating facet is concave because it lodges the condylar process of occipital bone, so that it forms the atlanto-occipital joint, that is between the atlas and the occipital bone. Superior articulating facet, this is a superior articulating facet which is articulating with the superior articulating facet articulating with the occipital bone, where the inferior articulating facet articulating with the C2 vertebra. So these are the major two important features which can be seen on the lateral mass. The lateral mass, that is apart from the rest of the portion, and the laterally formed bony element, that is the lateral mass. Then the medial surface of the lateral mass. This is the medial surface on either side, that is the surface towards the vertebral foramen, that is the medial surface. The medial surface of the lateral mass on each side is marked with a small roughened tubercle. On the medial aspect of the lateral mass, there is a presence of a small roughened tubercle that provides attachment to transverse ligament of the transverse ligament of atlas, which is articulating with the transverse ligament of atlas. The anterior arch, this is the anterior arch. The anterior arch marked by a median tubercle at the anterior aspect. The anterior arch shows an anterior tubercle at the anterior aspect and an oval facet on the posterior aspect. Anterior projection, anterior tubercle on the anterior aspect, and an oval facet on the posterior aspect. The anterior tubercle that gives the anterior tubercle or the anterior arch on the anterior aspect, and the posterior tubercle which is named as the which is for the facet for the articulation of odontoid process or the dens of the second cervical vertebra. Like that, the posterior arch majorly forms the posterior 2/5 of the entire ring, to which the posterior aspect is also marked by a posterior median tubercle. The upper surface of the posterior arch, this is the inferior aspect. So sorry, this is the superior, the posterior arch on the superior surface. On the superior surface of the posterior arch, there is the presence of a groove, and that groove lodges the vertebral artery. This is a groove which lodges the vertebral artery and the first cervical nerve, the C1 cervical nerve, the dorsal ramus of C1, that can be seen in relation with the first arch. posterior arch. That is the speciality of the posterior arch. So this is the anterior arch with the anterior tubercle. This is the posterior arch with the posterior tubercle. Then next point is about the transverse process. The transverse process of the first cervical vertebra. The transverse process is projecting itself towards the lateral aspect. This is the transverse process. The transverse process is projecting itself towards the lateral aspect, and it bears a small opening that is named as the foramen transversorum. The foramen transversorum, through which the vertebral artery passes. This is the foramen transversorum. So this is superior facet which articulates with the occipital bone. This is a superior view of the atlas. So once again, the parts of the atlas, this is the lateral mass with superior facet and the inferior facet inferiorly. It possesses two transverse processes with there is the presence of a foramen transversorum and the anterior arch, posterior arch on the medial referent area. This is the medial referent area on the lateral mass for the transverse ligament is attaching to it, and this is anterior tubercle, and this is the facet for the odontoid process or dens of the atlas. This is the posterior arch and posterior tubercle. Here comes the groove for the vertebral artery and the first cervical nerve. Then this is the second cervical vertebra. Second cervical vertebra, it is otherwise named as the axis. It is otherwise named as the axis. This is the posterior aspect of the axis vertebra. The axis vertebra shows a upward projection. It is the strongest of the cervical vertebra. It is named as the axis because the atlas carrying the skull rotating on it, so that it is named as the axis vertebra. It possesses a dens or the odontoid process. It have got a tooth-like upward blunt process that is named as the superiorly it is projecting from the body. So it is named as the dens or the odontoid process. Dens or the odontoid process. It is helping for the positioning of atlas over this. It held in position by the transverse ligament of atlas. It held in position, so towards this arched portion, or towards here as a posterior articular facet for the transverse ligament of atlas. That is, the transverse ligament of atlas is attaching towards this arched portion, so that it is the pivot joint can be seen in an intact position. The dens forms a pivot around the atlas carrying head, which is helping for the rotation on either side of odontoid process. On either side of odontoid process, there is the presence of a superior articular facet. Two superior articular facets can be seen on the superior aspect of the axis vertebra. The superior articulating facet articulates with the inferior articulating facet of C1 vertebra. Superior articulating facet articulating with the inferior articulating facet of C1 or the atlas vertebra to form the atlantoaxial joint. Then it possesses two laminae, the right and left laminae. It shows the right and left laminae. They are thickest amongst the entire cervical vertebrae. The two laminae joining together to form a bifid spine. It shows a small, large or thick bifid spine. Bifid means the tip of the spinous process is divided, or it can be seen as separated, so that it is named as a bifid. It is powerful and giving attachment to muscles and the ligaments. The transverse process has the foramen transversarium like this. The transverse process of axis vertebra also shows a foramen transversarium. This is the lamina, this odontoid process which is presenting upward. This is the odontoid process which is presenting upward. There we can see a groove for the atlantic ligament, that is transverse ligament of atlas is attaching towards here. This is a superior facet, and superior facet can be seen over the superior articular facet. Oh sorry, superior articular process. Facet can be seen on the superior articular process, and these extensions are the right and left laminae. In between there we can see the opening, that is the in between we can see the opening, that is a vertebral foramen, and this is the transverse process with the, that is a transverse process with the foramen transversarium. The axis vertebra, this is the inferior view of axis vertebra. We can see this is the body of the vertebra, the body of the vertebra containing the lateral aspect. We can see the transverse processes, right and left transverse processes. Also there is a extension of foramen transversarium can be seen, and this is the inferior facet which articulating with the next corresponding superior facet of the C3 vertebra. So this inferior articulating facet articulating with the next number of the superior articulating facet of the next vertebra. It also shows the spinous process on either side. It is formed by the union of lamina, right and left lamina. The third atypical vertebra, the first we have studied atlas, second we have studied the axis, and now the last atypical vertebra is named as the vertebra prominens or the seventh cervical vertebra. Vertebra prominens or the seventh cervical vertebra. This is the body of the vertebra, the seventh cervical vertebra, which shows the body of the vertebra with a pedicle. Most of the features are same like that. The lateral aspect with a transverse process, with a transverse process shows a transverse foramen transversarium, and from that the pedicle extending backward, with the inferior articular process, which is articulating with the inferior articular process, and the inferior this is the inferior articular process and superior articular process. In the superior view you can see the superior articular process which articulating with the C6th, the inferior articular facet of the C6 vertebra, which is articulating with the superior articular process, and this is the inferior articular process which are articulating with the first thoracic vertebra. So this resembles the C7 cervical vertebra, resembles the features of the first thoracic vertebra, like the pedicles. It shows a pedicle which is connecting towards the lamina and the transverse process. This lamina extending backward to form the spinous process, and there is a vertebral foramen and thick body, a prominent body like the first thoracic vertebra. There we can see in case of the seventh cervical vertebra, we can see it is a smaller body, but comparing with the rest of the entire vertebrae, it is smaller body, but the correct shape of the body is maintaining in the C7 vertebra. Then the transverse process, the speciality of the transverse process forming with two roots. There is an anterior root and a posterior root, with anterior tubercle and a posterior tubercle. The transverse process shows important two features, that is named as the anterior and posterior roots. The in case of transverse process, it shows two roots. That roots are named as the anterior and posterior roots. This anterior and posterior roots ends in anterior and posterior tubercles. Anterior and posterior tubercles. They are connected by means of the anterior and posterior tubercles are connected by means of a costal transverse element. Together it is forming as the transverse process. Together it is named as the transverse process. So these are the major features which can be seen in a C7 vertebra. The spinous process is downwardly directed. Spinous process is downwardly directed, so that it is named as the vertebra, and it is more projected and can be felt through the skin externally over the meeting point of neck to the posterior aspect of the thoracic cage, the starting point of the thoracic cage, so that it is named as the vertebra prominens. The vertebra prominens. This is the seventh cervical vertebra. We can see like this. This is anterior tubercle and this is posterior tubercle. This is the entire transverse process, and this is the facet inferior. This is the inferior facet for the next corresponding vertebra, and this is transverse foramen in body and vertebral foramen, and this is the spinous process. In the same view, the thoracic vertebra. This is the thoracic vertebra, which shows the features of the C7 vertebra with projected, downwardly projected, elongated spinous process can be seen here. That is a speciality, and also the upward articulating facet, to which this upward articulating facet can be seen, to which this inferior articulating facet of 7th cervical vertebra. The inferior articulating facet of 7th cervical vertebra articulating with the superior facet of first thoracic vertebra. Like that, here is also the inferior articulating facet. Inferior articulating facet can be seen, that is articulating with the next corresponding vertebra, and this is the pedicle and body, and this is two transverse processes. This is superior articular facet, and the two laminae fuses to form the spinous process. It is elongated and pointed. This is thoracic vertebra inferior view. Here this is the inferior articulating facet, articulate with the next corresponding superior articulating facet. These are the two transverse processes. It is simply the projections. There is no any opening, or the foramen can be seen here. There is the presence of two laminae fuses to form the spinous process. This is the vertebral foramen. So these are the features. Simply, it is very easy to identify. On the lateral aspect of the body, there is a presence of demifacet can be seen on the upper aspect and the lower aspect. Upper aspect articulating with the higher rib, lower aspect articulating with the lower rib. This is the lateral aspect. The costal facet can be seen on the anterior aspect of the transverse process. That is to which there is a articulating tubercle on the head of rib, to which it is articulating. The head is articulating to the body, and the articular tubercle is articulating with the transverse process, like that. So this is demifacet can be seen on the lower aspect and the upper aspect. This is a lumbar vertebra. Lumbar vertebra which shows a very thick body, a flat, very thick body with a pedicle. This is a pedicle which is extending as a transverse process. On right and left aspect there is a transverse process, and here the superior articulating facet is directed posteriorly, to which the inferior articulating facet of lower thoracic vertebra lowermost thoracic vertebra articulating, and also the inferior articulating facet articulating with the next uh, corresponding number lumbar vertebra. So here is also two laminae can be seen. The vertebral foramen is small and two laminae joining to form the spinous process. The spinous process is thick, but it is cutted or truncated. It is not pointed, either pointed or bifid. It is cutted or truncated. All the features are already identified. This is the inferior surface. Here we can see the body, flat body and pedicles, the two laminae. These are the inferior articulating facet with two transverse processes. These are the side view. This is a diagram showing the side view of the. In this we can say see the spinous process nicely. The spinous process is bifid. It is not pointed or not bifid. It is truncated. I'm sorry. It is truncated. It is cutted. It is truncated. And this is the transverse process. This is a transverse process. This is superior articulating process with the superior articulating facet on the medial aspect, and this is on the lateral aspect. Inferiorly there is inferior articulating process with inferior articulating facet. This is the body and this is transverse process. These are the difference between the cervical, thoracic and lumbar vertebrae, how varies in size, how we can identify these three. And thus we can see a small body with a foramen transverse areum and superior articulating facet with a large opening and two laminae fuses to form a bifid spine. Here the thoracic body is somewhat like a heart shaped with two pedicles, upward superior articulating facet and downward inferior articulating facet, two transverse processes with the laminae and the spinous process which is pointed and directed downward. This is lumbar vertebrae with a large thick rounded body with a stout or thick pedicles from which the transverse process extending and superior articular facet and inferior articular facet with two laminae and the truncated spinous process. These are the features which we have to study in the features osteology of vertebrae. Thank you.